Hey, Big Dazz, here we are. Alright. A few videos like this one, but I don't know. It's not, how would you call it? I haven't liked them. Anyway, this is about the financial side of having cancer. Right. Trust me. Financial side of having cancer is, I can't say it, fucked. But it is. It truly is. It's hard. Like, I had to quit my job. And my wife works when we're not in Hobart. That's a killer. She's working flat knacker just to keep the lights on, pretty much. That's what I mean. Like, you don't sort of realise how much it, like, with my treatment, and everybody be in the same sort of boat, I've got to have somebody there with me. It is. Because if I can, how does that? Not what I wanted to say, not the way I want to say. Right, we'll go again. Like, when we go to Hobart for treatment, my wife comes with me because sometimes the treatment isn't in. It's only a day treatment, then I've got to go back out. So we need accommodation. Accommodation's dear as shit. Like, it's dear, it's expensive. You're pretty much paying, like every week we're down there, we're pretty much paying an extra week's rent. So, $4.80 a week in your house, like this is just on average what we are. Other people probably pay more, some people probably paying lesser. But yeah, so you pay $4.80 a week in rent, and you're paying nearly another $400 to $450. Depends how many days I'm down there for, and depends if I'm out as an outpatient as well, because then it goes up a bit more. So just say you pay another week's rent. All right. So that's extra just say you pay extra $400 to $500 in accommodation. Depends how many days you're in for, and your loved ones will have accommodation, and if I'm out. Sort of depends. All right. So on average, $400 to $500 a week. All right. Now, there's a government incentive. You can claim it back, but guess what? You don't get it all back. You get a bit over half. And I mean, getting that bit over half back is better than nothing. But hence saying that, you got to wait nearly 3 weeks to get it. So you're pretty much 2 weeks you're in the red. You got to come up with that extra money to sort of 1 week, 2 weeks, then it's back in this, so then it goes back again. So you're 2 weeks. So every 2 weeks. And I mean, that's hard because you're paying extra week's rent down there, then you got to have food. So then that comes down to the accommodation. You've got to find somewhere which you can cook in. And some places charge more again for a night. And then you're up out of pocket more. But you're at least $100, $140 a week we pay in parking. Yeah, you can park out in the street. Your car's not safe. Could get broken into and stuff like this. So you got to go underground. You got to go to the multi-story car park. It's straight across from the hospital, which is good. Because if you come out of treatment, you want to go somewhere. You don't feel like walking 10 miles up the street to get into a car. It's straight across from the hospital, so it's good that way. But it is $100 to $140 a week extra. Comes out, but you can't claim that back. You can't claim it back. Tried, but you can't. So that's out of pocket. So about $140 we spend a week on parking. It's expensive. Like, it really is expensive. That's without the extra in accommodation. That's without the food as well. So your food varies. It depends if you're cooking in your where you're staying, or if you've got to eat out. I mean, there's a lot of food shops around there. You got Woolworths where we are, but where we stay, is 5 minutes across from the hospital. So that benefits us, because if I finish my treatment for the day, I can go out for a couple of hours and just chill out and watch TV, watch a movie and that, then go back to the hospital in the evening for tea time and medications and stuff. So you guess what, you got to be mindful. You really don't want to be parking. Well, that's the only reason why I can get out, because we're close to the hospital. If we was parking 3 blocks over, they would say no. And when you're going through chemo, you need a toilet. You can't have a shared toilet because your immune system's low and you don't get any germs. So that's the other thing you got to factor into your accommodation. So accommodation is expensive. Like it is anywhere you go, it's expensive. But we're lucky with ours. It's got a shared kitchen. There's breakfast during that, but I don't eat brekkie. So if you want to warm something up, you can, and this sort of thing. And it's got a kettle and all that back in the room, and a shower and toilet. So, but and saying that, it adds up. Like you're broke, you're skunked. Like, yeah, you can get money off the government for disability pension, or whatever you want to class it as, or just whatever it is these days, or your crook, sickness benefit. But then that gets, so it's hard because if you, how would you put it? Like, wife works when we're back home, just to keep the lights on pretty much. No spare money whatsoever. You just got the basic necessities. And yep, I get that. But that's if she doesn't pretty much work a lot of hours. So it's sort of, and if she works, she better benefit to work more, like, than get a Centrelink payment I am. But hence saying that, you're getting punished because you got cancer as well. That's the killer of it. You feel like you get punished when other people sit on Centrelink and do nothing for it. That is, and they call them dull bludgers. But you know what I mean, like everybody's different situations, so I'm not even going to anybody. But yeah, it seems like you have cancer, you get punished. But we'll leave it at that. So yeah, it's the money just flies out. Like your fuel you claim driving down and back, you can claim that, so that's alright. So, but no good if you got a heavy thumper of a car to drive down there either. Because you only get so much, works out so much to a litre of fuel. So we're lucky we've got a cheap car to run down and back. So that's one bonus, we get a little bit out in front. Not much, a few dollars, not much. But then you lose it when you got to pay parking. So you're pretty much not in front. You're not in front, nowhere near it. So you're still paying out of pocket nearly $400 to $500 a week. That is. That's the killer. People don't realise it. Like, we've got a raffle. We've got a country music thing. It is, and all the proceeds come back. So it's got to go fund me up to start up. And like I've had it. Like, every little bit counts. Every little bit counts. And people go, why you do it? You don't need it and this sort of stuff. Well, you do, because if you're not in that predicament, flying money out the door quicker than it's coming, you could easily lose your house. No rent, no food. Power could be cut off. All these situations. So you got to try to, it's hard because everything, like you want to live, you don't want to die, and people don't realise this. Like you feel like shit because you can't contribute. I had a full-time job. Loved it. Best thing ever. And I had to quit it because I couldn't do it. So there's a full-time wage going out the door. Boom, gone. So back to living on my wife's wage. Lucky it's hard because you feel like shit because you don't contribute. And people don't realise that. Like, it does your head in. And then you see that sort of thing, and then you're flicking money out left, right and centre just for accommodation, because where we are in the Devonport area, like it's 3.5 hours to get there. By the time you're feeling crook on the way down, you got to stretch your legs, and it says extra half hour more, and on the way home it could be an extra hour, so it could be a 4-hour trip down, come back home. Especially if you have your needle and injection, that you're feeling a bit uneasy, you want to stop a couple of times and just recuperate. So that's what I mean. It's not like you're a stone's throw. And that's the killer. Everything's money. Like, you got your accommodation. So that's $400 to $500 a week. Yeah, you get a bit of it back, but you don't get it all back. So you're still probably nearly $300 in the red. So, you know, still nearly, depends where you stay and just different variations. But you still got to wait nearly 3 weeks to get some money back. So you're 2 weeks in the red straight up. Like, it goes $400 or $500. It is. Especially if I'm an outpatient, it goes up because you've got to have extra room. It goes up in money. So it's just, people don't realise how much money you do throw out. Like, you throw it left, right. It's like racing a speedway car or a race boat or something. You're putting the money in, but you get nothing back. Well, yeah, you're getting a roof over your head and that, but still, it's expensive. And parking, it's not like here. It's not like Launceston. It's got parking on site. Hobart's different. Hobart, if you've never been to Hobart Hospital, there is no parking for you. You're parking in a multi-storey car park, which is straight across the road. And when we're there, it's 4 and 5 nights, like, in 3 days, you're looking at $100. Like, it's $100 to $140 to $150. Depends if you're there for the 6th day. Well, I'm going to be in there for 3 weeks after January. When January the 2nd hits, I'm in there for 3 weeks. First week's an outpatient, so there's accommodation through the roof. Especially New Year's, accommodation's gone through the roof. So, and then there's 2 weeks inpatient. But then wife's got to have accommodation for there. Especially stem cell week. Stem cells going back in the body. So if your body behaves and you get out of there earlier, I recommend it. But yeah, she's money's. I say you got cancer and you're fighting for your life, and you're fighting to keep your roof over your head as well. And people don't realise that. People think, oh yeah, everything's soon. And this trial treatment, like, people go, oh, you should be paid for it. Well, I'm not. I put my name up on it, and it's expensive as hell, this trial treatment. And for the first one in Tassie to get it, there's another bloke down there as well, he's second, and he's on his 2nd stage, so a lot of money going into us, a lot of money. And you wouldn't expect to get paid for it, because you got cancer. You don't want to die, so you do what you can do to live. It is. So that's what I mean. Like, people don't realise how much you do fork out. Like, it's a money thing. And it's hard, because if you only, like, hospital food is pretty crap. It is pretty crap. It is. Depends if you get the right menu and that, but some of it is pretty shit house. It is. I've only had 1 good week in there, and they give me 2 lots of fish and steak and mushroom pie, which was good. Veggies were crap, but that was good though. And the rest of it was just, yeah, not stuff I'd eat. Like, people would eat it, but not my sort of thing, and it's hard. And so everyone brings food in, bits and pieces. But yeah, and that's a little bit of money. Like, a little bit here and there. It soon adds up. Or if you bring a different bottle of Coiling, because you only got water in there. So you bring a bit of fizzy in, no sugar, fizzy, so it soon adds up. But that's what I make everything is a money thing. And I don't care if you say, oh, you shouldn't be doing this, shouldn't be doing that. You know what? You do what you got to do. Keep a roof on your head, and if people want to chip in here and there, so be it. Alright. Yeah. I had a couple of people fund us, give me some money, like a good nice donation, which, you know, I'm pretty happy with. Just know they care about me. Yeah, and that's helped out a lot. Like, everything helps out, and like when as I said, I handed a full-time job, and it hurt me to do it. Like, I loved it. But I couldn't do it while I was having treatment. And it wasn't fair on the employer. Even though they stuck with me for 6 rounds of chemo first up. Ooh, yeah, not Tom. That was, but yeah, she sort of makes it hard. Yeah, and you do feel like crap. You feel like a burden. Even though you got cancer and that, you feel like a burden having that. But then can't contribute to pay for things, and yeah. But yeah, it's a financial. It's a bit like it's the financial strain of having cancer. Like, it takes it out of you. Like, especially when you see all this money going out, it's like, Jesus Christ, like, you know. And then if something like you haven't got no spare money, like if you want to buy something or do something or go somewhere, or just if the extra bill comes through, you haven't got spare money. So, especially at Christmas time, like Christmas time's hard. But yeah, but as I said, if you're not going through it, you wouldn't have a clue. You wouldn't know how much you're forking out. So it's no good to sit back there and judge about stuff and this sort of thing. It is. You're paying a fortune. Probably on average a week we go down. Some weeks it's 3 days. Like this week it's Monday, drive down there for a PET scan. So then you got to stay there that night. Then we'll stay there Tuesday. Then I'm in there Wednesday and come home Saturday. Arvo. So there you go. You got a full week down there. Accommodation. There's another $140 for parking. It is, and like, it's hard. That's a bit of an inside out all works. And yeah, you do get money back for the government, but yeah, you got to wait nearly 3 weeks for it. And it's not the whole amount, it's a bit over half. So you're still forking out, like, you don't come out in front, nowhere near come out in front. It is, you don't come out in front, especially when you got parking. Parking and food. It is. Yeah, there is a cheap accommodation down there. And it's 4 blocks away from the hospital, and I can't go out on a day release. So, it just... And that's your cancer accommodation. Like, fuck, it was dirty as shit. Place stunk and it looked like it was mouldy. And yeah, a few complaints about it, so we're lucky we got one straight across from the hospital. Clean, neat and tidy. And she's worked in well with this lady who owns it, so yeah, a bit of a financial kicker for her, but yeah, that's what it is. Alright, see you later.